Hey, what's up, guys? And if you would like to support me, my PayPal will be down in the description. So, thank you all. So, let us jump right into part 2 of What If Naruto was a son of Nagato. So, welcome back to the channel. All our new subscribers, thank you all for your continuous support and your help. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. If you're new, yes, that's right. I indeed have 3 more channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. All the links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin this now, guys. So the last time we left off, we started with the red hair, amber eyes, Naruto. His full name was Naruto Uzumaki. His father was a man known as Nagato Uzumaki. His mother was Konan. Hail within the land of rain. Many saw him as royalty. Many saw him as, well, pure greatness after all. He was the offspring of their god and angel. So because of that, many was afraid to approach him that much, afraid that one little slip up would cost them their life. However, Naruto was nothing like that. Despite being born with a silver spoon in his mouth, Naruto was a hard work, driven young man who wanted to succeed his father in the goal that he had set for this world. He knew that his parents were part of something much larger. When he was younger, his father took him to see what the true reality of this world was. It was then that he noticed how truly dark the world truly is. And his father and mother put the trust in him to be able to be the one to bring the future changes. After all, despite all their power, they would not live forever. Konan was trained in him, as Naruto mimicked the same ability that she possessed, but not only that, each aspect of the Rinnegan was infused within Naruto like a Gekigenkai, which he could use in many different ways. The Land of Rain graduation was completely different, as Naruto faced someone known as Seeger. Seeger was someone that was close to Naruto in terms of physical strength and overall power, so they were placed up against one another. That is where we were able to meet 2 of Naruto's friends. A girl known as Ajisai had been friends with Naruto from a long time ago, due to the fact that she did not see him as how most people saw him. And then there was another randy individual. He challenged Naruto on the first day, wanting to see what the son of their leader was capable of. Upon Naruto besting him, which took a rather long while due to the fact that he was stubborn to fall. His name was Gensa. Gensa was blessed with a very powerful lightning affinity that hadn't been seen in the Land of Rain for a very long time. Ajisai was also special when it came to the water release. It was a way that she controlled the molecules that were putting her above the standard water users. The Land of Rain went for quality. Yes, when they found it, they pushed it out, so the 3 of them were placed on one team. Before that, though, they had an exam that would last for 2 months. 2 months of survival. As Konan watched and waited as she didn't see her son coming out, but Naruto had rescued every single one of the others, making sure no one had died. So with that, Team Naruto was formed as he was set as their leader. We skipped to Konoha where we saw a young girl known as Mito Uzumaki, red hair and blue eyes, having just become a genin as it was her time to venture out. After a month or so passed, she was going on a mission with her teammates, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, as they ventured towards the land of Wave. While that was going on, Naruto and his team got a mission. As a land of rain, given their proximity and the things that they dabbled in, they took different missions that your standard village would not take. Their target was a man known as Gato. His last whereabouts were in the land of Wave, so with that they made their way there. Upon arriving there, they spread out and gathered information. As the other two brought their information along with Naruto, they found that they didn't have to intervene because soon enough everything was going to drop right in front of them. So with that they waiting for the proper moment so that they could finally see what is going to take place. When the day came, Mito and the others were fending off against the foes, Haku being one of them. Mito accidentally fell off the bridge as Naruto caught her. Given the both of them had similar hair, the both of them seemed to take to each other, but it was just for a second. When that was over, Naruto and his team ventured downwards. Gato showed himself as Naruto and his team attack. It only took seconds for them to remove Gato's head and use the mist, courtesy of Ajisai, to get out of there. Even Zabuza was shocked by how proficient these kids were, as the threat was over given the fact that there was no longer any money around to, well, cause Zabuza to fight anymore. So with that said and done, they departed and made their way, unaware to Naruto or his team that was just the first beginning of everything, as Naruto would soon learn that girl that he was drawn to because of her hair at first was going to be very, very important. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across and please check it out for yourself, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs on the other channels. All the links will be down in the description. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin this now guys. We begin this new episode at Konoha after the Land of Wave mission. Zabuza had no interest to keep on fighting, so instead of leaving with one of them dead, Mito was happy that they didn't have to kill one another. She had been curious about the one that saved her when she fell off the bridge though. However, he had no headband on, no sign to show which village he was from. While she might think this was not important, as word reached back to Hiruzen Sarutobi after the description that Kakashi gave him. Every now and again, you had phenomenal young shinobis that were able to stir up a lot of attention. And whoever these three were, smart enough to hide their headband, proficient enough to take out their target without much of a hassle or anyone getting in their way. Well, they were indeed something, but the chance of Team 7 running into them again was extremely small. The world was a big place after all, and with the upcoming exams coming up, they were inviting other nations to take part. Kakashi Hatake made his way towards the Land of Rain. Immediately he was stopped by the guards. I'm here to hand this over to your leader, Hanzo of the Salamander. Weapons were raised. Kakashi showed no fear. He warned them that threatening him was threatening Konoha and the sand as well, as he was given leeway within the village, led by a strict team. Kakashi snapped his head to the side, feeling that someone was watching him. However, there was no one there. However, a distance away, observing was Naruto. Nearby was Ajisai, and gazing down beside them was their final teammate Gensa. That's the guy we saw the Land of Wave, Gensa said. I wonder what he's doing here. The tuning exams, Naruto said, as the both of them looked at him. It's been 6 months since the last one took place. Naruto remembered their first, truly dangerous outside mission. While it wasn't that threatening and they handled it rather easily. That man, the copy ninja of Konoha. It seems like we're being invited this year, said Naruto. Konoha is being rather friendly, isn't it? Ajisai said. I wonder why. Perhaps to foster relationships. So you think we're going to go? Jinsa asked, looking towards Naruto. That isn't exactly up to me. However, I will push for it, said Naruto. Given our track record in this short amount of time, I'm sure that they've seen it with their own eyes that we're ready. Jinsa slammed his fist into his palm. Of course we are. We've been on 8, 9. Ajisai said, yeah right, 9 missions. And we've completed all 9 of them so far. And those 9 are just the intensive one. And not even counting the ones that are too easy, he said. And it's just been a couple of months. So of course we're ready. So, make sure you put in a good word, boss, he said to Naruto. Our stats should speak for themselves, said Naruto. Time skip. I don't even have to remind you. There are things that others can't know as of yet. Information that need to keep to yourself and yourself only. Nagato said, speaking to his son. However, Naruto retaliated with a question of his own. You say that like you've told me the intricate part of your plans. Is this the time? Are you ready to inform me? Because you're ready to make me understand the challenges of knowing things that I should not. You're not ready. Nagato said, I've already told you that. Your representation of this land will not be seen in any bad light, even though my plans are underway. So your work is that secretive that it doesn't matter the popularity I gain. It would not change a thing, said Naruto. Exactly, said Nagato. So do as you must. Show the other nations your might. You are a child after all, prone to show off. If I'm not mistaken. Are you mixing me with some other child that you know, said Naruto. Well, that is crazy because I doubt you know any other child. I know your friends. Nagato said. Friends that you've never met, said Naruto. We've spoke about this before, said Nagato. Fine, I'll drop it, said Naruto. He hated the fact that his father hid away. He never truly liked that. Even though he was using his puppets as representatives. He hated the fact that he never truly stepped into the light. The machine that he was hooked up to. His legs were, well, damaged badly. However, they live in a world where they could breathe fire from their lips. Where they could conjure a storm. They live in a world where his father could do things that seem godly. So there was a way. Your team won't be the only one that will be attending. A report has been sent my way about a few others that has grown in strife. In fact, another that has seemed to come close to your team and your successful rate. That isn't our fault, said Naruto. If we had more missions, we would have passed them. As you can see, we've not failed a mission. Yes, I've noticed that. I've also read the reports. You have, said Naruto. Yes, for more reasons than one, said Nagato. Seems you're being a splendid leader, just like I thought you would be. This is a track that I want you to focus on, because one day, your leadership will be needed for much, much grander scales. Naruto nodded when he heard that. Don't worry, father, he said. I will never let you down. Time skip. Naruto, his team. Seeger, his team. Another known as Aoba, and his team were all standing in front of the high-ranking Rain Ninja, as he informed them about their duties. They were all going to participate within the upcoming tuning exam within Konoha, as they were there to represent the village and not bring shame to the Land of Rain name. As they step into another village, they will be wearing the headband, and it was up to them to stay in line. They will be watched. They will not break any rules. Konoha came here personally to invite them. They will do as they are told. While killing is allowed, they will not stray away from the rules of the exams. Am I understood? He said. All of them nodded. As they were given time, they were going to head to Konoha. Time skip. The three teams arrived there on time. As they stepped through the gates with their papers. So this is Konoha, huh? Caesar said, looking around. Tch, not impressed. All of them look like a bunch of weaklings, he said loudly. As he looked at the people, Naruto stopped in front of him. Weren't you told to behave? Naruto said. Caesar gave Naruto a dark look. Listen to me and listen to me carefully, he said. You're not my team leader. You're not my friend. You can't tell me what to do. So move out of my way. He tried to pass Naruto, but Naruto grabbed his arm. You're right. I'm not your friend. We've never been friends. And I'm not your leader. But if you bring a bad name to our village here, you're going to regret it. Is that a threat? Caesar said. As he gazed at Naruto, who was still holding on to his arm. Oh, of course not, said Naruto. I'm simply telling you what's gonna happen. Alright guys, easy, Aoba said, trying to calm the three of them. And yes, the three of them, as Gensa looked like he was about to knock Caesar's head off. Given the way that he was looking at the boss, Caesar noticed that, pulling his hand out of Naruto's grip. You two, he said, let's go. As the group separated, Aoba sighed and simply shook his head. He's gonna be a problem. Don't worry, he'll stay in line. Not in the exams of course, but he will for the appearances. How do you know that? Aoba said. Simple. Gensa was the one that responded. He knows what will happen if he don't. He might be arrogant, but he's not stupid. Surely he's not, Ajisai said. Now, let us get a move on. This is starting to look weird, she said, as they noticed people looking at them. Yeah, let's get going, said Naruto. With that, the team started to make their way as they head to the hotel to get things set up. They were given different rooms after all. Naruto and his team met up within the lobby. So what now? Said Gensa. Should we check out this village and see what it has to offer? After all, we are given free reign in a lot of the places. Some of them are off limit though. But that should still be a good sight. I want to see what the opponents are capable of. You do know that we're not only going to be fighting Konoha ninjas, right? Ajisai said. I know, he responded, but it's a lot more of them. The group started to make their way. As they headed out, checking out the scenery, Naruto had to say, the calm atmosphere, no gloomy or thundering rain. It was kind of, well, it was different. Calm. He was used to his village, used to the cold sensation. This was just different. He wouldn't say if it was bad or good different. As they were making their way, noticing the others, looking at them. They had their headbands on, of course, but no one made a fuss or gave them this stink eye. They just looked their way. After all, Naruto and his team were causing no fuss. Until they stumbled upon one, as Gensa simply walked off, heading straight towards it. He doesn't think sometimes, does he? Ajisai said. Surely he doesn't, said Naruto, as they made their way after him, only to come across a Konoha team and a team from the sand. Hey, Look, boss, it's her. As Naruto gazed to see, the same red-headed girl that they saw a few months back. Their attention caught the others. Mito turned her gaze. She blinked in surprise, remembering that face rather well. It's you, she said. However, Naruto's gaze was fixated on something else. The one in the tree. He could feel it from here. That raw, bloodlusting sensation. He jumped down, interrupting the gaze that they were sharing. Who are you? Said Mito. Gaara. Gaara of the desert, he said. He questioned them on their names. As his gaze locked with Naruto for a moment, but given the proximity, he said nothing. Once they were gone, Mito turned her gaze. So you are a ninja, she said, not remember seeing any headband. She was confused though. What village is that? You really did not pay attention in the academy, did you? Sakura said. It's the land of rain. Not everyone is a brainy nerd like you. Mito fired back. What? I'm not a nerd, Sakura said, gazing towards the last member that was simply observing them. Perhaps he was trying to act all cool. You're the one that saved me, Mito said, as Naruto looked away from the Uchiha. Yeah, I remember you as well. So let me guess, you're here for the Chunin exams. Well, isn't that obvious, Ajisai said. You will have to excuse her, Sakura said. She's a weird one. Oh, I see that already, Jinta said. Hey, I'm not weird, she shouted at the both of them. Don't worry, Jinta said. I like it. Weird people are cool. Most time better than normal people. I've been told that I'm weird as well. Yeah, I suppose we are. But you just said that you weren't. Ajisai said back. Never mind, said Mito. So what are you guys doing around here? Oh, we're just sightseeing, said Naruto. Quite a village you have here. Oh, it's Konoha. It's pretty awesome. Tell you what, for saving me, I'll make you taste the greatest food that was ever created. Oh, what's that? Said Naruto, curious about what she was talking about. Naruto had a rather refined palate, and the other two knew about that, as the both of them seemed to sigh. Sakura questioned, what's wrong? Well, he's a very picky eater, Ajisai said. Huh, that's putting it mildly, Jinsa said. Well, unfortunately, we can't, Sakura said. Remember, Mito? We have to meet up with Sensei. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, this won't be the last time. We'll see each other in the Chunin exams. I suppose we will, said Naruto, as they parted ways. Huh, they're pretty nice, Jinsa said. I like those two, except for the one on the fence. He was really staring at us strangely, trying to act all cool. I hope he's my opponent, so I can pulverize him in the beginning. I hate people that believe that they're cooler than they actually are. I guess you hate yourself then, Ajisai said. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? He said to her, as Naruto started to chuckle slightly. Hey, stop laughing at me, he shouted at them, as the group made their way. Kakashi Hatake, having moved from his spot to see what was taking the team so long, surprisingly he arrived first. It seems that person was from the land of rain. All three of them. The other two, they were no pushover either, but that red-headed individual, there was just something about him. And he was a child, but Kakashi got this strange feeling, like he wasn't looking at a normal child. As he made his way, at least they got along with his team, if they were the dangerous threat here. He quickly made to regroup with the others. Time skip. Something doesn't seem right, Jinsa questioned as they arrived on the third floor. Yes, something is definitely not right, because we're not on the third floor, Ajisai said. We've only walked up one flight of steps. the first and then the second. This is clearly some sort of illusion, trying to trick your mind in believing that you've taken more steps than you have. I think it is the true first part of the test, Naruto said, to weed out those that are not ready. As you can see, Naruto tilted his head as he narrowed his gaze. What's wrong? Look right there, he said. As he focused on the boy in the green spandex clothing. Look at his arms, his legs, where the bandage does not completely overlap. Oh, I see, said Jinsa. He's someone that trained ridiculously hard. Or maybe he's hurting himself. I think it's the first one, Ajisai said. And look at the other one. His eyes. That's one of Konoha legendary dojutsu. The Byakugan. That would have been able to see through it. It seems they're playing a game here, Naruto said. Let us go. As the people were not paying attention as they made their way, simply bypassing through the real door. Gazing over, Kutetsu and Izumo had a smirk on their face. Seems some is not falling for our trap, he said, looking towards Izumo, who nodded. As they continue on the ruse, they made their way as they arrived, stepping inside. As there was just a few people here, they made their way and they sat down waiting. As the time passed by, more teams started to fill in. Hey, look who it is, said Jinsa, as Team 7 entered the room. But they were quickly flanked by the other members of Konoha, so Naruto and the others remained where they were. As he watches someone introduce himself to them, giving them information, he focused on the young man's lip. He's taken the exam 7 times and failed. Naruto found it curious though. He knew certain things that he should not, even if he had taken the exams. The members that they asked about wouldn't have been here if they failed, unless they take it a second time as well. Ajisai noticed Naruto's gaze. What's wrong, she said. Seems like we have a spy in our midst. Her gaze narrowed dangerously. Oh, don't worry, it's not around us. As Jinsa was busy talking to someone else from the other team that hailed from the land of rain, when a little brawl broke out between Kabuto and a sound ninja. However, the proctor then arrived. Moments later, Ajisai was able to see through the ruse. It didn't make any sense. How could this man tell another nation that their shinobi would not go past a genin level? He did not possess that power. Naruto, on the other hand, he saw it. There were 6 examinees placed in key spots so everyone around him could cheat. The paper was already filled in, all the information already written down. He pretended like he was writing something, but that wasn't the case. As for Jinsa, he banged his head on the table. As these questions were difficult, he gazed over at his team. He could not fail because if he failed, they would fail as well. As he scratched the back of his head, he wasn't the only one going through that. Suddenly, all the other papers on the decks behind them that was there for the proctor of this exam blew in the air. Ibiki, the proctor, felt it. That wasn't normal, that wasn't any win. He felt the small burst of chakra, but who? Which one of these kids were able to produce such a quick fashion in order to create a distraction but at the same time mislead where the effects came from? One of the secret examinees gazed downwards as his paper was blank. What the hell? He picked it up and looked over it. This was not his. As Jinsa was banging his head down, he saw something. As something lay flat on his table and spread itself open. The paper unraveled itself to show that it was the answers. He gazed behind him towards Naruto, who wasn't looking up. As he tapped his finger on the deck slightly, Gensa understood. Looking over, he saw that Ajisai had a similar paper on her table as well, as she put her paper over it and simply filled in the answers that were beneath it. He smiled to himself. Time skip. Every member was gathered as they were going into the second phase of the exams. The Forest of Death. Team Naruto was given a Heaven Scroll. They had 5 days, that was a max, to gain an Earth Scroll. As they venture within the forest, they started to observe the area, checking out the scenery as they went to higher grounds. Ajisai sat down on a branch, closing her eyes, spreading her sensory ability. Both Naruto and Gensa stood by her side. 5 of them, she said, as she pinpointed all the teams that were close by their vicinity. Quickly a plan was formulated between the 3. Let's move, said Naruto, dashing from tree branch to tree branch. Naruto and his team was being hunted. That is what it seems like. A team that hailed from the grass. 3 boys who were a few years older than them. They threw an explosive tag, exploding in front of the 3. Well, what do we have here? The leader said. Seems like we found ourselves a little treat. Let's make this easy for you guys. Hand over your scroll and you won't get hurt. Naruto turned to face them. I was just about to say that, said Naruto. The real Gensa dropped from the tree and crashed down on one of them, knocking him out cold. The closest one quickly drew his kunai and drive it towards Gensa, only for a water whip to sting his arm and then wrapped around his stomach, lifting him and slamming him into a branch. The leader stood there shocked as he watched the 2 teammates dissolve by Naruto's side into paper and flooded within Naruto. He drew his small tanto and raised it as Gensa leaped towards him, swinging a kick. The leader ducked underneath it, seeing the opportunity. He swung it. However, what he never expected was for Ajisai to jump. Gensa grabbed onto her hand and she pulled him up. She then came down with a spinning kick in the back of his head, sending him crashing right in front of Naruto. As he tried to raise himself up, a force pressed down on him. Naruto searched his belongings. I guess we're lucky, he said, holding up the scroll in his hand. Our first try. Let's break some kind of record, Gensa said, and get the hell out of here. I couldn't agree with you more, Ajisai said, as they knocked the final guy out and made their way. However, Ajisai picked up on something. It's Seizure, she said, knowing that chakra very well. He's in trouble. She could feel the fear through his chakra, how erratic it was spasming. What do you want to do? We should head to the tower, Gensa said, looking towards Naruto. Let's not waste our time. As Naruto gazed off in the distance. Meanwhile, Seizure and his 2 comrades were encapsulated by sand, courtesy of one demon of the sand, Gaara. Seizure believed that it was best to take what Gaara had at his disposal, but he soon realized that this person wasn't your average child. When his senbons failed, when his attacks failed, and they were caught, he was going to die. He didn't accomplish anything worth living in his life. He will be another nameless shinobi, and he hated that, cursing to the heavens. But as he felt his final breath coming, he was going to be crushed. All 3 of them were ripped out of the sand as they collapsed down on the ground. Gaara gazed upwards, Temari looking up. So did Kankuro. Seizure turned as he saw. You, he said, looking rather surprised. Why would you save me? A lot of the people back in his home was selfish, and Seizure had been brought up in a life like that. And given that him and Naruto did not gel that well, you might be a pain in the ass, but you're still a ninja from the rain. And I wouldn't just stand by and let you get killed, said Naruto. A wave of sand rushed at Naruto to swallow him. However, a massive blast of water crashed into it. The sand tried to swallow the entire portion of water and grab Naruto, but it became much slower. Jinsa then flipped in the air, flying through hand sign as he released an arc of electricity, bursting the sand away. The electrified water dashing towards Gaara and his team. Gaara cracked the ground with his sand as it shot up in the air, blocking everything that came their way as Naruto stepped out of it. A few feet away from Gaara, one of the most scariest person in the exam. Well, some will soon believe. However, showing your power is not what makes you powerful. What truly makes you powerful is the unknown, when no one knew just how much you could end your existence. When they believe that you were nothing because you tend to show a softer side. And that was the definition of Naruto. As you can see, he did not like to show off. He did not like to make a fuss about his abilities, despite the fact that he had abilities that were truly unnatural. You're outnumbered. Even if you manage to take down some of us, there's a chance your teammates might be killed in the process, even you. Do you really want to risk that, Naruto questioned? Gaara looked towards him. You think I'm one of these cowards that would run away? He said as the gourd on his back started to tremble. The sand started to swirl. Damn it. He's not gonna back down, said Temari. We have to fight, said Kankuro. I will tear each and every one of you apart without lifting a finger, Gaara said. Feeling shame that this person believed that he would flee from a fight, he released an impressive aura that started to swallow Seeger and the others. Even Naruto teammates were starting to have a difficult time, and they were some of the stronger ones. However, the ground underneath Naruto exploded. The air itself trembled as the breeze became erratic and violent. Both Temari and Kankuro eyes went wide. They took a step back. Even Gaara was shocked beyond his wildest dreams. Their gaze met, their power manifested in beasts as they clashed against one another, despite not even moving. It was their chakra, their aura that was seeping from them. Both of them stepping towards each other, their power fluctuating higher and higher. Gaara's sand shot out. However, the next moment the sand broke through the ground with a tremendous force. Not focusing on anything else but one target, Naruto. They have a path that originated from his father, gave him the ability of supreme gravity control, and truly focused on one thing and one thing only. His strength had been phenomenal, especially the fact that it wasn't a person but an organism like Gaara-san. It ripped through the ground, tearing downwards. Gaara was even surprised by that. The first time being this close to someone and failing to finish the job. Yes, it surprised him. However, what surprised the other two was Gaara relented. Temari and Kankuro has never seen that before. Whenever he claimed that he would kill someone, he always followed through no matter what. Gaara was smiling, but this wasn't your average happy smile. It was twisted. It was dark. Yes, very so. The both of us will face each other alone, Gaara said. No interruption. No one to step in. Just you and me. Mother, thirst for your blood. I shall paint the walls and the earth with it, allowing Mother to feast on your blood, he said. The grin on his face getting wider and wider. Our battle will be spectacular. I will tear you limb from limb. His words were dark, wicked, like he was simply picturing ripping Naruto guts out, and it made him happy. Fine, I'll give you your one-on-one. Just try your best not to fail the rest of the exams, and you can get what you're after. Gaara's grin extended some more. There were some points that he had to wait to savor his kill, and this was one of them. It will be amazing. With that, him and his teammates made their way off, as Naruto turned towards Caesar and the others. The rest is up to you. Continue on or give up, he said. But me and my team will be heading to the tower now. Caesar gritted under his teeth, angry about the save, never truly wanting it. Well, he told himself that, due to his pride. Come on, said Naruto as his team and him made their way off. Time skip. Relaxing within the tower. What? That's impossible. Surely you're joking, one of the Chonins questioned. Look for yourself. As they saw on the camera, a team, not from Konoha, not from the sand, but a team from the land of rain, entering. What the hell? Some minutes later, the team from the sand also arrived. They shatter the previous records of the Chunin exams, which has been held for a very, very long time. Given that they arrived so early, they had plenty of time to relax and wait for the 5 days to come to an end because they were still within the first day. As the day blew by, more and more teams started to arrive. It seems like that Konoha team is not gonna make it, Jinsa said, as they were on the 5th day. There was only a couple of hours left. Naruto said nothing as he simply stood there and watched. When a few minutes before the deadline, coming in all battered and bruised. Surprise! Seems they surprised us, said Naruto, as Mito, Sasuke, and Sakura were battered and bruised, but they were here, and they were alive. Sakura and the others saw him, as Mito sent Naruto a smile, showing that she was still in this. He smiled back, as there was something about her. Perhaps it was a spunk, the way she carried herself, the energy that she had. She was indeed something special, Naruto thought. When the final day came to a rest, it was the other day, as the cutoff had been cut off late in the final day. However, the other day they were all gathered, as they would be participating within something else. It was the first time that Naruto was able to see the Hokage in flesh, the man known as Hiruzen Sarutobi. Despite his old age, Naruto knew that he was ridiculously powerful. Even if he wasn't told it, he could see it. He could tell with his eyes alone that the man's strength was insanely great. He started to explain the true purpose of the exams. Hearing that, Naruto questioned many things in his mind as he thought about his father's desire, his dreams. None of these people know that in the coming future, great changes will take place, changes for the better. There were things that his father had yet to tell him, but he told him that he will tell him once he was ready, and he will know. He was being tested, and Naruto knew that. Being a leader, doing the things that were necessary, he would continue on showing them and proving to them that he was ready to be trusted with the full truth, that he was ready to handle all the responsibility that will come his way, and thank them on his shoulder. The world needed a protector, it needed a savior, because if things stay the way they are, all of this will simply continue, and nothing will ever change. Time skip. The first match was Sasuke Uchiha versus one of Kabuto teammates, Yuri. Sasuke was able to dominate him. Naruto noticed that there was something wrong. Strange patterns spreading all over his body, affecting him greatly. He was curious about that, He saw the sensei came and take Sasuke away. Soon after, the other match was actually Ajisai versus Kabuta's last teammate. He was able to elongate his body, trying to use it as his disposal. When the match started out, he mostly went on the defense. It was a trick to draw her in. Ajisai was playing in his rhythm, it seems. The closer she got, the more happier he got. When he laid his trap in, he spread himself and wrapped around her. "It's over," he said. He restrained her enough to make sure there was no movement. There was no way she was getting out. Gensa gazed down there. It's over for him. Ajisai was able to change the molecules in her hand. She liquefied her very hand itself. You should know. You should never hold on to someone when you don't know what they're capable of. She poured the water right down his nose. The next moment he felt like he was suffocating as his body returned back to normal as he collapsed. The others were surprised, mostly so the Jonins. It's been a long time since they've seen a remarkable kid like this. It was the way she used her water release to have such control. Perhaps a lost Kikigenkai that most of them weren't aware of. Because her water release was definitely not standard. She waited until he passed out, as her arm returned back to normal. The couple of months that flew by was enough time for her to evolve her technique, but she was not the only one. Kiba, Inuzaka, and Gensa. Gensa jumped off the balcony and crashed down there. As Kiba made his way, "It's best if you give up right here and now," he said, slamming a fist in his chest. "I'm the Alpha, and the Alpha cannot lose." Gensa chuckled at his remark. "Good. I was looking for someone fun to fight." The both of them dashed at each other the moment they were told to begin. Kiba's fighting style was feral and wild like a dog, as Gensa's strikes were precise. When Kiba received a hit in his shoulder, it felt like his arm had been removed. The thunder fighting style. He was being paralyzed, temporarily of course. Akamaru pounced right on Gensa, but Gensa weaved under and kicked the dog away. Kiba was now pissed. Him and Akamaru came together and spun vigorously. Getsuga! They then split apart as they surrounded Gensa and came in. Gensa flipped in mid-air at the last moment. However, they turned. They both slammed in his gut and launched him. Gensa crashed into the wall as he collapsed. Surprisingly though, he started to laugh. Everyone was surprised by that. When Gensa rose back to his feet, random sparks of electricity started to generate from him. "Now that's it! Show me what you can do," he said, always having to be extra as he ripped off his shirt. He rushed towards them and took them on head on, withstanding the damage to his body like it was nothing. Naruto had went blow with blow for him, knowing that Gensa could receive a ridiculous amount of punishment and still stand. Kiba and Akamaru were both exhausted. Akamaru collapsed from the pain and the fatigue. Kiba threw another fist as it slammed into Gensa's chest. However, Gensa simply grabbed his arm. Kiba proceeded to collapse right on Gensa, taking shallow deep breaths. "Why the hell won't you go down?" Kiba asked. "Despite us being close in age, you never actually experience the real world. In the outside world, you can never allow yourself to fall. You have to be strong, no matter what," said Gensa, pushing Kiba back as Kiba collapsed. "I'm done," he said. The land of ranged shinobis were proving to be more phenomenal than more of them thought. Hiruzen Sarutobi gazed towards the last member. He seemed rather calm. His name was something that Hiruzen saw before. It wasn't even in this. It was the MC within Jiraiya's book. He wondered if it was after that or if it meant Maelstrom or the most ridiculous one, the topping for the ramen. As the other match went on, "Seems like you're not gonna get your turn, boss," Jinsa said. "Oh, it's coming," said Naruto. They watched as Mito made their way down there and demolished Kin of the Sound. As she came out on top, the pinkier one failed of the team. Yes, she failed. Naruto watched as his name popped up. Who is Zaku? He wondered to himself. He made his way down there. One of Zaku's arms were broken. An incident that took place in the forest. "Are you sure it is wise for you to fight in your condition?" Naruto asked. "Oh, don't you worry about me. I'll handle myself," Zaku said. The proctor gave them the go-ahead as Zaku used his one arm to throw a kunai, but Naruto easily deflected it. Zaku dashed forward. As he tried to attack Naruto with his one arm, Naruto dodged each of the strikes. "Got you now," said Zaku. He ripped his bandage off, showing that his arm was fine. He pointed both of his arm to Naruto and released a tremendous blast of pressurized air right at Naruto's face. The entire building seemed to shake with the force of the technique. Everyone was sure that Stray Ninja was dead. There was absolutely no way that he would be able to survive that. He was indeed gone. However, when Zaku stepped back in fear, they wondered what was going on. Neji, with his Byakugan activated, was surprised. How is that? Zaku could not understand. How? He said. "Are you afraid?" Naruto said, stepping towards him. Zaku took a step back. "Let me guess. That was your most powerful technique, and yet it failed to even put a scratch on me." "Can you feel it?" said Naruto. "That feeling of death. Knowing that I can snuff your life out at any time. Tell me, are you afraid?" With each step Naruto took, the louder they got. Zaku started to tremble. Dosu was surprised by this move from Zaku, him always being the confident one. The closer Naruto got, the more terrified he got as he pressed himself against the wall. "No, stay away," he begged, in absolute fear. I give up," he shouted. That wasn't normal. The human path that originated from Naruto's father was able to rip souls out of people and read their minds. However, as stated many times before, Naruto techniques did not operate the same way the Rinnegan abilities did. Naruto could do something else. He could force thoughts into others' mind, after making them doubt themselves. The moment that they did that, Naruto was able to push fear into Zaku, making him realize that he was absolutely terrified, to the point that Zaku even gave up. That was how powerful Naruto technique was. The moment Zaku felt doubt. However, as for the blast, Naruto was able to use his gravity manipulation. His control over his technique had gotten exponentially great. But that wasn't the only thing that he used. The Azura path from his father, which was able to change his form using a sign of mechanics. Naruto was able to strengthen himself, making his paper surpass normal durability. As Naruto and his team came out on top, each of the members having succeeded. Sometime after, they had to pick who they were going to fight in the finals. As Naruto picked up the ball in his hand and watched his name be written on the board, his opponent would be Neji Hyuga. Naruto glanced towards his teammates. Ajisai would be actually going up against Gaara. Gaara saw the look on Naruto's face, as he seemed to be watching Naruto very carefully. and the action alone made Gaara smile. Naruto glanced back towards the board. Jinsa would be going up against Mito, and Sasuke would be going up against Kankuro. The others, it did not pique his interest. It did not concern him. However, as the boy gazed over towards him, with that look in his eyes, his hair so similar to Naruto, he seemed so happy, despite the fact that he wasn't facing Naruto himself. "Are you worried about me?" Ajisai said, seeing the look on Naruto's face. I'm touched," she said, not waiting for him to respond. "However, I got this." "I'm not doubting your skills," Naruto said. He said nothing more after that. He was truly not. However, the boy was not normal. He felt it when they were trying to outdo the other. They have to go. Get back to their village. Time skip. As the Rain team made their way back, Caesar had not made it. Him or the other team. However, Naruto and his team had passed. All of them, so yes, the Land of Rain was still in it. There wasn't a doubt about that. However, there was many things that Naruto would like to talk to his father about. He heard the name. He's been quiet about it, but he heard the name. Her name was Mito Uzumaki. It seems that they weren't exactly the only Uzumakis left. His father told him the history of their clan. Another reason why this world deserved to be changed. What happened to the Uzumaki clan? But that girl, her last name was also Uzumaki. Returning back to the village, he spoke to his mother first. His team had made it 100%. They will be representing the Land of Rain. He knew his parents and their secrets, so he knew that the possibility of them being there was extremely slim. However, there will be members from the village that will come there to support him and his team. That is why they have to give it all that they got. "You have news," Nagato said, looking towards Naruto who stood in front of him. "Our family isn't completely wiped out as you originally thought," Naruto said. Nagato stood there looking towards him. "Explain yourself," he said. "The team that we saw within the Land of Wave, there's a girl on the team. She has similar hair to myself and yours. I heard her last name while I was there. It's Uzumaki." For a brief moment, Naruto saw something on his father's face, an emotion that vanished so quickly away. "This girl, did you speak to her?" Nagato said. "Yes. Seeing these kind of people, understanding them, is giving me more conviction to help you with your plans and your desires. She's a wonderful person," said Naruto, "and she deserved to live in a world without chaos and war." As Naruto was smiling, perhaps a few of the Uzumakis indeed escaped. However, as you know, yes, I didn't say anything, and I will not, said Naruto. "I just wanted to inform you, and that me and my team, all of us pass. We're heading to the finals. My opponent will be a Hyuga. I guess you have a lot to do then." Nagato said, "Yes, I do," said Naruto. Sometime later, "We have a problem," he said to Konan. "Our son seemed to be fond of the Jinchuriki." "What?" Konan said. "Seems he made a friend within that girl. The Jinchuriki within Konoha." "Damn it," Konan said. "I thought something like this might happen. I knew there was even a chance, but it has become reality. He just met her though. You know our son. How he reacts with people that He's seen as someone that he cares for. That compassion inside of him to fix this world. That is why he's put complete trust in our plan. Because he sees the helpless, the people in need and desire to help them. I allowed him to see the world when he was younger. It made him realize that he could help them. He never wished to control, never wished to govern, never wished to be any sort of tyrant. He just wished to strip the darkness away and bring light. The goodness in his heart is something that is needed to bring forward a future where others will be able to stand together as this. But before peace, there has to be destruction. But you know him. From what I've seen, it seems like he's fond of the Jinchuriki. And you know what we have to do. Don't worry, said Conan. I will find out as much as I can to truly find out what happened there. I did not question him that much. He's a very smart boy, and he becomes easily suspicious. Conan nodded, already knowing how to easily get information. There was two friends that would see this as nothing but a mother trying to know what took place when her child was gone. As Naruto made his way off, having no idea that the thing that he desired wholeheartedly to achieve, to strive for, to show his parents that he could keep their dream going, in order to achieve that dream, countless had to die. It was a show of power, the way they were going to go about it. But before the countless had to fall though, all Jinchurikis will be stripped of their tail pieces. But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.